We've all heard Charlie Munger say it. The path to the first $100,000 is the most difficult part of building wealth. That's coming from a man with a net worth of over $2 billion. But this difficult path to building that first $100,000 is potentially the most satisfying and the most enjoyable part of the journey. This is the period with the most excitement, the anticipation of starting something new and wondering where it could end up, and the feeling of accomplishment at every single milestone. This journey can take an extremely long time depending on your circumstances. But did you know that once you reach this goal, if you continued investing $20,000 per year, at a 10% annual return rate it would take just 3 years to make your next $100,000. Each subsequent 100k would then take less and less time until you reach the $1 million mark. Okay, maybe investing $20,000 per year seems like a lot, but even if you sat back and didn't invest a single penny more, at a 10% annual return rate, you'd make your second 100k in just over 7 years, all from allowing your money to compound and work for you. On top of that, if you're successful on your journey to $100,000, then you've likely already increased your income and built multiple streams of income, making it more realistic to be investing close to $10,000 or $20,000 per year. In this video, we're going to take a look at the importance of $100,000, what happens after this milestone, a realistic plan for 100k and how to manage your way to an easy life afterwards, and at the end of the video I'll be covering 2 bonus tips for reaching that major milestone. So, why is building up your first $100,000 so important but so difficult? This is because the first $100,000 will largely be the result of your hard work and dedication, while cutting your expenses and doing everything you can to save money each month. Any money you invest likely won't have had enough time to grow and compound significantly, or the amounts won't be large enough to generate a noticeable return on investment at these early stages. You'll be relying on finding ways to increase your income or cutting your expenses in order to have money left over to invest and to build your net worth. This principle was made famous after Charlie Munger told Berkshire Hathaway shareholders the first $100,000 is a He went on to say, "I don't care what you have to do, find a way to get your hands on $100,000. Munger gave the examples of walking everywhere instead of taking transport, and only eating food that was purchased using a coupon. The problem though is that you can only cut your expenses so much. In today's world, once your expenses are under a reasonable level, it may be much more realistic to find new sources of income, including part-time jobs, monetizing hobbies, or starting a side hustle or online business. Finding ways to increase your monthly income can be much more enjoyable and effective than desperately trying to cut costs from your life. You'll also have less time to spend or waste the extra money because you'll be busy making money. Once you've reached this milestone, you get to enjoy the feeling of accomplishment for achieving such an enormous goal. Knowing that you started with nothing and built your way to this goal will be an incredibly satisfying feeling. Then, the compounding effect of your investments will be much more noticeable over time. If you can make 10% annually on $100,000, that's $10,000 in a single year just from making your money work for you, on top of any extra income you've saved and invested during this year. From this point, there will of course be ups and downs in the market, so your returns won't be consistent each year, but over time the compound effect will take hold and can carry you much further than just saving alone ever could. So, from this point, how long would it take to reach 1 million? You might think that this would be a slow journey from this point, but I've got 2 major reasons why I don't think this is the case. By the time you've reached this goal, you will likely have put systems in place to rapidly grow your wealth. You may have built multiple streams of income, you may be better at spotting opportunities in the market, you will be much more in control of your emotions and less scared by movements in the market, you'll have streamlined your finances, cut out large costs and professional fees, and you'll have more relevant experience in your work life, making you much more employable, and you can command higher rates if you're self-employed. The experience you'll have built during this journey will be priceless, and the amount you're able to invest each month will likely be much higher than it was at the beginning of your journey. Saving and investing will be second nature to you by this point. On top of this, Actually reaching the 100,000 milestone shows that you are committed to this journey. You've endured difficult times to get here, and you don't give up at the first sign of trouble. You've shown that you are disciplined, you've worked hard and expanded your knowledge. You might even have built your own business, which itself can grow and compound every single year. From this point, it becomes much more about patience rather than difficulty. You've done the hard part, and you'll continue to benefit from what you've built so far. If you want a sign that you're one step ahead on this journey, look no further. The fact that you're watching videos and learning about personal finance is a major step in the right direction. Not many people even take this step, so you're already doing better than average by beginning to research. Remember though, nobody on YouTube should be telling you specifically what to invest in, as they don't know your personal circumstances. This depends on risk tolerance, fixed monthly costs or outgoings, your age, and a number of other factors, so always make sure you're investing in whatever suits you personally. Now let's look at a general plan for reaching $100,000. What's important after that point, and what the true end goal is, as well as the 2 bonus tips which I mentioned earlier. So, what would be my plan for 100k if I was starting from $0 invested? First of all, I'd be sure to make a spreadsheet looking at all of my monthly income and expenses. I'd look for areas where I was spending too much money, particularly on things that don't teach me anything or bring me joy. If I had very little left over at the end of each month, I'd take drastic action to cut my expenses and would stop spending on luxury items wherever possible. I'd then look for ways to increase my income, potentially through side hustles, online businesses, or from taking on extra work. Online businesses are much more efficient to start up, as the overheads tend to be much lower. This means that there is less risk involved, and if it fails then you can start over until you find something more suited to you. I'd learn about personal finance and investing, and would most likely decide to invest in low-cost index funds, as well as a small number of companies which I really believe in and see value in. I'd automate my finances, so that my savings and investments are made automatically each month. This removes any temptation to spend the money on other things. From here, I would double down on whatever is working for me in terms of generating income. This might involve finding training or qualifications for my main job, or investing much more time and money into a side hustle or online business. I'd then keep up with this consistently and not be deterred by any tough periods either in the overall market or relating to my own personal circumstances. It's then really about being patient enough to reach this massive target. So, what would I need to focus on then? I'd likely focus on rebalancing my investments to reduce risk, especially if I'd overinvested in any specific companies or assets along the way. I'd look to simply match the returns of the overall stock market, and consistently invest the same amount of money each month, also known as dollar cost averaging. I'd ensure my personal finances are running as efficiently as possible, minimizing any platform fees, account fees, or brokerage fees, and I'd ensure I was knowledgeable enough to not require help from any professionals, as the costs involved are too high. I'd then enjoy living my life on easy mode and coast all the way up to that 1 million mark. But remember, $1 million is not the end goal. The end goal is happiness and financial freedom, in whatever form that means for you. It could be FIRE or financial independence, retire early. It could be finding an enjoyable part-time job and not worrying about money. It might be living off dividends, or travelling full-time while making money online. It really just is about whatever would make you comfortable and happy. Remember, you want to work to live, not live to work. Finally, let's look at the 2 bonus tips. Bonus tip number 1 is to realistically assess your priorities in terms of passions and hobbies when it comes to building a business or side hustle. For example, if you don't enjoy your job and you want to find an enjoyable way to make money, perhaps by monetizing a hobby, it's easy to be sucked into the thing which you're most passionate about. But often this passion isn't the most lucrative option, it's just the most enjoyable. Write a list of all your passions, hobbies and interests, and rank them in terms of money-making potential as well as your own enjoyment. If you can find something which is more enjoyable than your actual job, and could make you more money, then this seems like a no-brainer, even if it isn't your number 1 passion in life. There's always time to develop your main passion in the future, but focusing on what's best for your current situation right now is the highest value move you can make. The second bonus tip is to always take advantage of free information whenever possible. Always try to learn new things and understand more and more as time goes by. The worst that can happen is that you become smarter, but it could increase your earning potential or your financial ceiling massively. Free information is out there all over, and anything you want to learn will likely be covered by free information online. One of these free sources of information is this YouTube channel. If you want to keep learning, you can subscribe for free to be alerted of new videos, and you can read our blog which is linked in the description for free. Thanks for watching.